Hey everyone, I am Kristen Cantrell.
And I'm Angela Fazio, and we're so excited. This week's guest is Lauren Wendt.
She's so great, you guys. And she, in the last year, had a baby, became a branch manager at her brokerage, and she went from 1 agent to 12 agents this year, all with a little baby. So we're so excited to talk to her.
Yes, and we're also going to talk about her struggles with technology.
So, we all have these struggles.
You know what? Don't judge. Everyone has it. So let's get started.
Angela Fazio is an industry powerhouse who has overseen 40,000 homes sold and $9 billion in production. And Kristen Cantrell is one of the nation's most accomplished team leaders, helping thousands of agents build their businesses. They are passionate about educating, encouraging, and empowering moms in real estate. Our next episode starts now.
Hello,
Hi.
Lauren. How are you?
Welcome.
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we couldn't be more excited to have you on.
So tell us a little bit about yourself to get us started.
Okay, so I am a branch manager, and I'm actually still trying to get my graphics up on our front door. That's how new this is. I have a team that works with me. I have 3 kids, and I've been in real estate for about 8 years.
So what made you want to be a branch manager? Like, what part of that? Branch manager is different everywhere. So what about being a branch manager at your company is exciting?
A lot of freedom, I think. I wanted to be able to guide my team in a place that just fit my model and my vision. And by opening up my own branch, it kind of gave us that space to do that. I have a lot of learning I'm still doing, but I think that having that branch allows me to take that leadership position I always have loved to have, help guide and educate, and kind of have like my mini brokerage inside of where I'm at.
Yes, I love that. I love that whole concept. So selling real estate for 8 years, and now, how does it look different when you're leading people? Are you still selling real estate? Are you solely focused on that leadership role?
I do. So I hired a coach this year, and I am still selling my own real estate because I think that part of building the systems for my team comes from me and modeling what I can do and be successful in. So I am working hard on building those through my own production. So that way, when they come to me and say, how do I do that? I'm not just like showing them, I can bring them on my inspections. I can bring them to my listing appointments and my buyer consults and give them some true training that I just think sometimes is lacking in our industry.
It's not sometimes, it's mostly lacking, which is so pathetic.
I know. I feel like so many people want that mentorship where they're in the field, and that sometimes isn't out there. Sometimes their mentor is not selling,
Yeah.
So one of the things that I love about putting yourself and choosing to place yourself in a leadership position, it almost always, unless you're a sucky leader, right? But it almost always makes you up your own game, because you're like, I don't want to be awful in front of these people. I want to, like you said, I want to be the model. I want to show them, what I'm capable of and what you're capable of. So I constantly will put myself in leadership positions in one way or another just to keep my own self accountable.
Same.
Yeah. And I feel like having a coach is, I just hired a coach too. And I feel like it's I don't even know what the word is. Maybe you could help me with this, but getting organized and getting your systems in place. I tell her, I'm like, I know everything you're telling me. I tell people this all the time, but it's so different. I love it. I have somebody that I have homework. I have it's so nice. So how did you find your coach, and do you love it? And tell me more.
Yeah. So I hired him for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to make sure that I was being effective in my work. And 2, I really wanted to make sure that I wasn't trying to recreate a wheel that's already been made. So having someone there to help guide me and make sure that my systems aren't going to be created with holes because I did it without guidance, I think is huge. I'm loving it. The accountability is great. He's really big on like waking up early and starting your day. And I just feel like if I'm going to preach these things to the people on my team, that I have to live it. And I'm having success.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Like there's nothing worse, and you can like, you don't know what's wrong when you're listening to somebody and it just doesn't seem right. It's because they're not doing what they're saying anyway. We have that all over our real estate industry, by the way.
Yeah.
Like for 20 years, I've been in this. I can't believe 20 years. and I've watched so many people. There's this guy, I swear to you, this is the truth. I know him because when I first started in real estate, he was at my same brokerage that I was at with me and Chuck. And he was a terrible real estate agent. He did no business ever. He never did business. And then he moved to like some other country, right? And then he marketed himself as this luxury real estate specialist. And he still does it. He literally sells this program for something he's never done.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about that this morning too. It's just when someone like kind of thinks of themselves or gives themselves a title and it's like, that's not true. Like, how does that come out of your mouth? You know?
Yep.
Crazy.
It's huge. And it's like, why would you hire a fat personal trainer?
It's so true. Sometimes though, I feel like, I agree with you 100%. Or like a hairdresser that has terrible hair. Like you can't go get your hair done by her, even though it's not like she's doing her own hair or anything.
Or a dentist with like brown teeth.
Yeah.
Like, take care of your teeth, man.
We could go on with.
Oh yeah, we're down a rabbit hole right now. So go ahead.
Well, we wanted to talk about your tech problems.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
Tell everyone what you told us about being 89.
That's good.
I say this to everyone. And our brokerage has a ton of technology pieces, but I struggle. When you guys have, your podcast, you're like, you may need to have AirPods in. And I was like, I don't own AirPods. Like I haven't invested in that technology yet. So I don't know. I feel like I get by with what I need to, but I am an 80-year-old human on the inside who has like no tech savvy.
We all have our stuff. We do.
I have a 21, or maybe he's 22, an agent on my team. And I'm always like, can you edit this? Can you fix this? I don't know what I would do without him.
You're good on social media. You've got that down.
I'm trying. I have a coach.
That's technology. So that's all right. That's good.
I think you're doing good.
Me too. We give you our stamp of approval. Oh my God, we were having the funniest conversation before we went live today. Jackie, I think if you're still watching, you're going to think this is freaking funny. But we were talking about just like where you go and where you have to wear a mask and where you don't have to wear a mask. Lauren goes, it's better than taking off my bra when I take off my mask.
It's so true though.
Oh my God, that was so good.
You're like, oh.
I know, right?
Yes. But it is like when you get to take off your bra, you're like, oh, this feels so good. But the mask is just like so much better to get that off your face.
That is, I'll never be able to unthink that.
No.
Every time I take off my mask, I will think of you, Lauren.
I love
That
it.
might be your quote for our Instagram for Moms in Real Estate. We'll be like,
we have to get like a little video of you going like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, look. Look what Jackie said. We need a bra optional. I think there are bra optional restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are. They're called strip clubs.
You don't want it either, though.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
Everyone gets on here and they're like, I want my quote to be something inspiring and great. And like mine's about
taking off your bra.
I think it's amazing. It's inspiring to me.
Well, that's the whole point of this show. Let's be authentic. If it's true, let's say it.
Yes. Okay, so I want to definitely talk about your growth, and that is awesome. So tell us, like, you started as a branch manager with just one person, and you've grown to 12 agents. So tell us all about that and kind of how that happened. And yeah, we can't wait.
Yeah, so I had a baby in April, and then in May, I decided to open my own branch. It just felt like the scariest, best option for me. I think that I like to operate with a really full plate all the time. It's just kind of how I function. So I had one girl who is a good friend and she was on my team. And I had a few people who I have been in contact with, and it just kind of really became organic through conversation. This is what I'm doing. This is my vision. And everyone that's moved over has either been a referral from someone already on my team or a partner in the industry that was able to send them my way because it would be a good fit. And it was hard having like Ellie, who's just a baby, and trying to juggle all the things. But I think that COVID allowed me a little bit of flexibility because it's not like we had to do everything in person because it wasn't allowed. So we were able to like pivot and use the little bit of technology that I know how to use to create a space that now we have in person. And we were able to just form a team that's super eclectic. I have someone who speaks Spanish. I have someone who specializes in 55 and older, but it was all through just relationships and talking. And that's real estate, right? If you can just people, you'll do well.
I agree. That's it's not an easy thing to do to recruit that many people in a year. We both recruit full time. So I commend you for that. But I can hear why that happened to you, because when you have a strong vision and you have like a why and you're clear about that and you can vocalize it to people, people want to be with people with strong visions and with passion and with a direction and purpose. And so I would love to hear like one day, like I want to hear you pitch me on your vision. And like, it's got to be something special because people are attracted to that. We're all looking for our people. Like, who do we hang around with? Who ignites our passion? You know, who do we want to follow and lead? So you've obviously got a knack for that. That's awesome.
Thank you. I think that trust is the ultimate to success. If you can build trust within your clients and your network, you will have success. And everyone that's moved over to our branch is moved over simply because they trust me. Sometimes blindly, they trust me. And then, you know, through experiences, they realize that it was where it was supposed to be. But trust is kind of like one of our core values in everything we do.
Yeah, it's such a strong thing. Like, you have to have that trust because, you know, and going back to what you said, like, you're all relational and that's real estate. And sometimes real estate agents don't understand, like, they'll be like, I don't recruit. And I'm like, you actually do. You're just building relationships with people and people join people at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, so I agree.
And I think that not having a fear of saying this isn't a good fit, you have to know and be able to identify and be selective with who your people are. And that it builds a solid foundation all the way around. If you're able to say, I don't know if this is a good fit, but if you're afraid to say that, then you're already going to fail.
Because then you just end up surrounding yourself with people. They don't want to be around you. You don't want to be around them. Why would you do that to yourself? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. So true. Well, that's great. If there's any new agents that are out there listening, like, what advice would you give them if they were thinking, or I don't know, if they're struggling, maybe they're not motivated? What would be your advice you'd give them?
So I tell this story to everyone, and I won't say the brokerage that I started with, but I started with a big box brokerage, and my husband and I are both licensed. And we would go into the office at 10 o'clock at night and rummage through the trash to find contracts that someone else had thrown out so that we could figure out how to word our contracts.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And that was part of why I started what I did, because I just don't ever want a new agent to feel like they don't have a place to ask safe questions. And we didn't have that. So we were self-taught. And for all new agents, I would just say, if you're ever in a place where you feel like you're having to be self-taught, you're not in the right place. You should be able to. Oh my gosh, that's so wise. Yeah, you should be able to find a mentor. There's enough amazing people in real estate. You should be able to find someone that can guide you and mentor you, and having the right mentor is going to be key in your first 3 years.
So true.
Yeah, I tell agents all the time, I said, half the battle is finding a place where you feel like you have the support, the tools, the resources, whatever it is that you feel like you need. But all the rest of it is the people. Because real estate's so hard. So I say, listen, you need to spend as much time as you need to figure out who are the people that you would be surrounding yourself with. Because you need to be like, oh my God, I'm so stuck. I don't know what I'm doing. Or I just stuck my foot in my mouth, or I did this stupid thing. Help me fix it. You have to be able to be vulnerable in this business, or you can't learn as quickly.
Oh, absolutely.
That's so true. And you also have to go after it. I feel like sometimes there's, agents that get in the business and they think like, well, they're not calling to see where I am, or, like you have to be the one that's like, okay, I'm going to go to Lauren and I'm going to ask her, can I shadow you this week, or whatever it is, but just be assertive and throw yourself in.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's my favorite people to work with are the people who are like going after it. They take a little nugget, they go and do it, they come back and they get more. That's
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I tell everyone that I interview, I need you to call me. Mm-hmm. And I will answer. That is a promise. I will answer my phone. But if you don't even have the drive to call me for direction, then
I was wondering what word you were going to use.
I know, right? I was thinking a different word.
I was too.
I had another one, but I was trying to.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Well, I have no doubt that you are an awesome leader and will continue to be an awesome leader. So the people who you're drawing to you are so blessed. So I'm sure of that.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and your wisdom, and just sharing what you're doing and your lack of technology skills. You got on the StreamYard link. You did good.
You did great.
Yeah. Well, so just to let our audience know, now every Thursday after Moms in Real Estate, we're jumping on Clubhouse for an episode of Shit Show Moms. And the purpose of that is so that we can tell our embarrassing and awful stories about ourselves to each other, so we don't feel like we're completely alone in our shit show. So jump on Clubhouse and
at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time and join us for Shit Show Moms. Thank you for being on Moms in Real Estate, Lauren. Thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful day.
You too.